Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Miriam and this is the Many Phases of Mimi, and today we are talking about, or I am giving you reasons as to why you and your man ain't getting down as much as you used to.
Every now and then, you know what I'm saying, majority of the time, you dig.
Now, this is a topic that has fascinated me for about 2-3 years now because, you know, relationship goals was like a big epidemic and wanting the relationships that other people have. But the older I've gotten and the more open a lot of my friends have been with me has kind of opened my eyes to the unfortunate things that can happen during a relationship, particularly long-term relationship, and not having sex is one of them. So I started delving into it a little bit more, and the reasons I was given was enough for me to make this video, and I really hope you enjoy it. And if you're going through it, I really hope it helps in some way. So here are my reasons why you and your man aren't as intimate, or he's not able to perform as well as he used to, or even get it up. Really, I want to say these are the reasons why your man can't get it up, but I think, you know, this can be a broader topic. So reason number one, stress. I think this is the most common reason. For me, I've definitely mentioned this in another one of my videos. I think it's the reasons why you're not orgasming. For me, sex for the most part is mental, and I think when stress is involved, it's obviously difficult to perform, you know, to be de-stressed enough to actually be able to get an erection. I find the most common stresses tend to be money, tend to be work, lack of it, or maybe changing work, or work is stressful. You, girl, let's keep it real. Obviously, the way your relationship is affects how intimate you are, and you might find that you could be guilty of adding to the stress that he has, or being the stress that he's experiencing. Now, that's a difficult thing to admit, and that's a difficult thing to, because it might be this lack of sex is what is making you stressed out in the first place. But I think it's definitely important to look at ourselves when it comes to these things as well, and to question whether or not we could be adding to the stress that they're experiencing. Reason number two, he's cheating. He's cheating, okay? And as much as I don't necessarily think this is one of the most common ones, I definitely think it needs to be said. There's a possibility that he just might be out here cheating and he ain't got enough spunk in his trunk for you, you know. And obviously if he's cheating, his mind might be preoccupied. But I think I should have probably put this as the last point, because I feel like more time it's more mental, but it's definitely something to be considered. So if you already have the feeling that he could be cheating, you know, I don't know what to tell you, girl. I don't want to be one of them ones that are like, you know, you need to be looking for his phone or whatever. I like to think you could just ask him, but niggas stay out here lying. So yeah, however you want to deal with that is however you want to deal with that. I don't want to give you top 10 tips to find out how your man is cheating. That's not my forte, girl. All I'm saying is it might be something to be considered. Reason number three, he's insecure. If you're a woman who is very driven, very ambitious, if you're a woman who has made things happen for yourself, and your man is one that you picked because he has potential, but he really ain't doing nothing, those kinds of men tend to feel very intimidated when it comes to their women, and that tends to affect how they perform sexually. I remember I had a friend who was this type, and I've heard this from other women who have been in this situation, who was in a relationship with a guy and he wasn't working, and she at the time, I think she was working like 2 jobs, she was doing quite well at work, all these kinds of things, and for the life of her he couldn't get it up. Now 2 after all of that, she finds out that he's been cheating on her. So this motherfucker could get hard for someone else but couldn't get hard for her, and everything about their situation said he felt emasculated when it came to her. Okay, if you're a woman who is with a guy who sees men as providers, as more than women, but is unable to provide for you or himself, living in your house rent free or doing the bare minimum, that is emasculating for him. Okay, not that you've emasculated him, the situation is just emasculating for him and affects his performance in the bedroom. If you're watching this and you're a woman who's more successful than your man, that could be the reason why. You know, there are a lot of men who like women who are not as intelligent, who dumb themselves down, because a smart woman who's able to provide, who is able to do for herself, doesn't necessarily need a man, and they find that threatening because they can't offer anything. Let me know if that makes sense. Reason number 4, he's got secret fetishes or likes certain things done in the bedroom that you might not be open to. This is why I think it's so important, and I don't know how to actually narrow this down. I'm trying to think of a way. This is why it's so important to find somebody who you're compatible with sexually, because things like being able to share your fantasies, to explore your fantasies with your partner, not necessarily all of them, but it's important to know that you are pleasing them. And if there are certain things that you're just not willing to do, which is no fault of your own, you do what you're comfortable with, girl. But if there are certain things that you're not willing to do that get him off, then it's virtually impossible for him to be satisfied, you know. And after time, that might affect his ability to perform. Guys, my lipstick is doing a madness, so let me know. But yeah, you might be one of those women who don't particularly like giving oral sex, and that is his shit. That has been his shit since he was 16. He's loved it, and now he has met you, and that's something you just don't do. Or shit like, I don't know, people, look, you might have a foot fetish for all I know, and you hate your feet. Whatever it is, it's what gets him off. If you're not comfortable with performing certain things and that's what gets him off, then obviously there's gonna be a discord, you know. So that might be something to explore. Maybe ask him if there's any, if you're willing anyway. You might not be, but ask him if, you know, there's anything he wants to try, if there's anything you can do. And girls, don't get me wrong, this video isn't for me to try and make you feel like there are things that you're not doing enough to make your man get hard or perform better in bed. But these are just reasons, and a reason is a reason whether you get offended by it or not, you know. And this is one of them. He might be into certain things sexually that you're not willing to do. Reason number 5, you might have just developed a higher sex drive than him. I think we have been led to believe, right? You've got to watch this documentary. It's called Are Women Hornier Than Men, or Are Men Hornier Than Women? One of the two, but it's so insightful and really goes into the history of female sexuality as it pertains to social expectations. It goes into whether or not our sex drive is higher than men. It delves into a lot, the patriarchy, a lot of different things. But it could just be possible that you have a higher sex drive than your man, and for whatever reason his libido is lower than yours. Do you know what I mean? As simple as that. I personally think there might be a little bit more than that going on, because for me it is mental. But if you're not a believer of that, then it could just be you like to have sex more regularly than he does. And that's absolutely fine, but you're gonna have to work out how that's gonna work for both of you, because I feel like when it comes to sex, and I'm guilty of this as well, I can be a little bit like throwaway. Well, if he doesn't do this, then you need to get rid of him. But I think when it comes to long-term relationships, when it comes to marriages, when kids are involved, it's obviously not that easy. So to some degree, with every single one of these points, it's still up to you and your partner to decide whether or not it's important enough for you to work on it. You know what I'm saying? But girl, it just might be that you can't keep up no more. Yeah, I really hope these reasons have helped you kind of navigate how you're going to approach the situation. But for the most part, I definitely think if this is something you want to move forward in, then you have to be able to communicate. I'm not going to tell you to stick a Viagra in his drink or anything like that, although... So, like I said, I hope this helps. I really hope you have the kind of relationship that means you can be open with your partner when it comes to these kinds of things. But yeah, guys, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to let me know what you think. I hope you have a lovely day. Take care.